Okay, so yes, Tony Turbo here, talking about the 24-hour Tough Guy Challenge that I'm going to do. I've talked about the training, and now I want to talk about the nutrition. Now, in preparation for the Tough Guy event, I need to basically get myself in the best physical shape I can, and so that basically means going to be like two weeks now of cutting out alcohol. I'm going to prepare myself for this event by getting everything sort of like on point with the timing of my foods, the quality of the food that I'm eating, and of the timing of the food, and like what it is that is going in my mouth. So I don't want to be too heavy for this event, so I'm cutting carbs at the moment, and I'm just going to be basically having fairly decent carbs like rice, white rice, sort of wild rice, brown rice, sweet potato, and I'm going to save that for after training, and this is going to help basically replenish my muscles, and help repair and help them rebuild after I've been doing my sort of like gym training, my muscle tearing sort of training. My diet is mainly going to be like a high protein diet. This is going to basically help me sort of burn fat during the day and make sure that I'm basically not losing any muscle mass. I want to maintain my strength, but I also want to drop maybe 2 kg by the time the event happens. And this will make me lighter for the run and make me feel a little bit more energetic. In terms of like looking at what I'm doing like for like breakfast and my like little routines, so I've been sort of like getting quite friendly with a guy called Ben Peklowski and a guys down over in America. They run a great company called Metabolic Effect, and also my guys down at Body Type Nutrition. And basically what we know is that one of the first things you need to do in the morning is alkaline your stomach. So taking like advice from all these guys, I'm basically going to be having like a sort of like a greens sort of juice or shake to get me rolling in the morning, and then I'm going to basically be having like a high protein breakfast to get the day rolling. Throughout the day, my food is going to be things like buying a whole chicken, and just munching that throughout the day, having some salad stuff with me, and keeping it, keeping the minerals and vitamins in there. Probably gonna have too much fruit in there. I'm gonna have like avocados and tomatoes and stuff like that, but probably not going to be like munching away on the mangoes and the pineapples because they're quite sugary, and I want to try and make sure that I'm burning fat as opposed to storing fat. So I'm going to keep sugar out of my diet as much as possible. Again, sort of, it's not going to be too interesting, I'm afraid. It's going to be fish and lean meats and cuts of chicken and cuts of steak and turkey and tuna and haddock. I sort of like those, and I can eat those, with fairly interesting meals, and that's fine for me. In terms of like what I'll be drinking, just loads of water really, just fairly standard advice, plenty of water throughout the day. I'm not really a big coffee drinker or tea drinker, so that's not an issue for me. I am a big alcohol drinker though, so this will be a challenge for me, staying off the booze. So like that's a little bit about lifestyle. So like getting my lifestyle in the right sort of mindset, and making sure that I'm staying away from those places where I'd be treating myself to booze. And if I am in those places, making just being of the awareness that I'm getting ready for a fairly substantial event, and that getting on the booze is not going to help that. So that's the sort of mindset you have when you have to be in a drinking environment and you're a drinker and you're not supposed to be doing it. You sort of like think about the bigger picture, what you're doing this all for and what benefit it will have on you. Literally, drinking will have no benefit on me, so there's no purpose in it being in my program, and as such I'm going to try and not partake in it. In terms of like supplementation, after training I'm going to be having like a high protein drink, like a whey protein, just to help recovery. Again, I'm just keeping things simple. I'm not going to try and overdo anything really with supplements. There's a whole barrage of stuff that could be taken for energy, and you know, I could take creatine, and I could be taking caffeine before training and stuff like that. You know, maybe if I need it, I'll utilize that stuff, but just to get the ball rolling, I think I'll be fine. I'm fairly good in the gym, and I listen to my hunger and listen to my energy levels. So because I have that awareness, I'm able to sort of like understand when I need to put food in me. And you know, if I'm hungry before I train, I'll just munch on like half chicken. So you know, that'll get me through it, and then afterwards, and I can have some carbs and some protein afterwards. And what else? And then we've got to talk about like on the day nutrition. So yeah, basically it's a 24-hour event, which is like fairly substantial. So it's, you know, new territory for me. I've never done this. I mean, this is me, you know, sort of like reiterating my legendary status by doing something I've never done before. It's fairly phenomenal. And I know, you know, this is all sort of new area. So I'm going to be chatting to a few sort of like runners that have done like maybe the Tough Mudder. They're going to have like some knowledge about this. I reckon from like knowledge of basically doing the last sort of like challenge, which was the London to Cornwall bike ride, I reckon I'll just be having like packs of like carbohydrate and energy sort of like with me as I do the course, so that I don't run out of energy while I'm actually on it. Because it's about 3 hours, 4 hours that I'm going to be running for non-stop, and then obviously I'm going to be having like breaks in between. So what I don't want to get is a stitch while I'm out there. So probably if I'm going to have any meals, which I want to have, I'll probably need to have, you know, like fairly easily digestible foods, stuff that's not going to basically sit in me too much, and then give myself a good amount of rest after I've eaten, so that I can basically digest it. So yeah, I'll be looking into that over the next couple of days, but probably gonna be sort of like things that aren't too fibrous. Eggs and chicken are fairly easily digested, so I'll be, you know, looking at these sorts of foods. Alright, that sort of like wraps up sort of nutrition, and I'll talk about lifestyle next.